Hi, this is John Young with the Disc Jockey News and Disc Jockey News TV. Thank you for joining us tonight out on Facebook and out there on YouTube. For tonight's show, we've got a special guest.
Welcome to Wedding Chat with me, Dave Ternier, and my co-host on this call,
Jeremy Brech, DJ Jer. Nice to see everybody. Well, I guess all I can really see is Dave, but that's plenty. That's all I need.
Exactly. Jeremy, for those who don't know, is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I don't want to say every Wednesday, but many Wednesdays, Jeremy and I do a live show for John Young, Disc Jockey News TV, and a suggestion was made, hey, if you guys are ever recording your shows ahead of time, why don't you just broadcast them live into the CPJ Facebook group, so that way we have some live audience to interact with. So we are doing this here tonight for the very first time, and as I told John earlier, I'm going to tell everybody, look, we're going to do this maybe every week, maybe every couple of weeks. If it gets annoying and irritated, you know me, I'm a thick-skinned guy. Shoot me a message and say, Dave, I really wish you wouldn't do those live videos.
Yeah, and he'll probably still do them, but at least you told him.
Right.
It's like
but no, we really want your feedback. So on Wedding Chat, for those who aren't aware, Jeremy and I bring our very different worlds. Jeremy and I are great friends, but we also run, about as opposite of companies as you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
We've been doing Wedding Chat on Disc Jockey News TV for how long now?
Oh, man. 3 years, I bet?
It has been a while.
Yeah.
It has been a while, yeah. And we simply...
Forever.
Yeah. And we simply discuss a variety of topics, generally within the context of weddings, but from our own perspectives. So for those who maybe are unaware, I am a single op. I don't do a lot of production. Jeremy, you are the opposite. You are what?
Yeah, we're a multi-op. Technically we have about 10 DJs. We have 5 to 8 setup crew people who just do corporate setups, production setups. So we're a much bigger company. I shouldn't say much bigger. We're good size for our market or our region. And right. We do a lot of variety of stuff, which is it's fun because it's an ever-changing evolution in our business. And you know, we're gonna talk about that a little bit tonight.
We are indeed.
But yeah.
And if you're, of course, just watching this on the Disc Jockey News feed, we look forward to your feedback as well. Still, I think we're still gonna be popping on live there as well from time to time. But with just everything that's going on right now, there's so many live video things to be attending online these days. I don't know about you, Jeremy, but you know, there's a lot out there. So we're just trying to accommodate everybody's schedules. So do submit your comments in on the videos. Jeremy and I will try to get to them, or simply reach out to Jeremy and I through Facebook. That's probably the easiest thing to do. Well, reach out to me on Facebook.
It's funny that you talk about like all these different feeds and everything that are going on and people sharing content and information. And right before I got on, I don't know if you heard it when the video was playing in the background, but I was actually watching a good friend, Chris Romero, was doing a live mix on Facebook. And I'm like, you know what? This is a great opportunity just to kind of watch another DJ do their thing and not criticize, but actually learn like, oh, that was a cool mix, or, oh, I didn't expect that transition. And just kind of look at some of those things as education or learning opportunities as well. And it's not just let's sit down and let's talk business.
Right.
So you see a lot of DJs. I mean, you go on Facebook and you see all these DJs doing live mixes on Facebook. I think that's great because it allows you to kind of do some practice. You know, you get to work on your decks, you get to work on your performance. Mm-hmm. And music is such an uplifting thing for people. And right now, I mean, that's what people want. That's what they need, is they need music. They need something to kind of feed their soul. So it's really cool to see people doing live mixes as long as Facebook doesn't take them down. But
yeah, a few of them have been a little glitchy. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. You know, I want to do that as well, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want Facebook just to shut me down in 10, 30 minutes, whatever it is. But
if anybody has had experience doing live mixes, by the way, streaming live, let us know in the comments. How's that working for you? And maybe equally as importantly, what type of viewership have you been getting?
Yeah.
I'd love to know what type of attention these are getting as well. Maybe this is something we should all be doing. I mean, there's a billion people using Facebook, so surely there's plenty of audience for all of us. But
you know, and I would almost think just because we're not selling the product, we're not selling the video. You would think that ASCAP or whoever is shutting them down, the copyright company or copyright people, you would think, you know, in times like this, just let them mix, let people enjoy music. And, you know, and I get Facebook can probably get a slap on the wrist from, you know, the music producers and all that stuff, but just let it happen. You know, let people enjoy time in a situation that we're currently in.
Yeah, very true.
I don't know.
Very true. So, wedding chat, Jared, what are we going to chat about tonight? If anybody has any questions in the comments, of course, drop them in there for Jeremy or myself. But you had some great topics just before we started.
Yeah, like I was saying, you know, now that everything's happening in the world today, there's so much that unites people. There's music that unites people, and like I said, people are utilizing their time and their talent, and they're putting videos out on Facebook and YouTube, and they're creating this, you know, this more uplifting environment, and so they're utilizing their time in this situation we're in. And I'm really curious on what the viewers and also you, Dave, you know, how are you utilizing your time? What are the things that you've seen in the past 2 weeks since, you know, our government has basically said you guys are shutting down, no events for, you know, till this time frame? Well, we have a lot of time on our hands. And how are we utilizing our time? And what are we doing, not just in our business, not what are we doing now, but what are we doing that's going to affect the future in our business, the future in our relationships with our family? What are the things that you're currently doing, and what are the things? I mean, perfect example. I have a lot on my plate. Being completely, I have so much that I do, but there's so much that I want to do, and this was actually a really great reset button to really help me understand what is truly important. Business is obviously important to us because that's how we put food on the table. You're all in on this. You are a single op. You have no option except to work. And when someone says you can't work, what do you do with your time, and how do you make it valuable? Right. Sarah, my wife, she is my business partner, so she's running part of the business, and I'm running part of the business, and we're all in on this as well.
Yeah, just so people are aware how all in you guys are. Both you and your wife Sarah are employed full time by your company. Neither one of you has any other income, right?
That is correct. 100% of our income in our household comes from this business.
Right.
So what I want to get back to is business has changed a lot, but I don't stop working on my business. The thing that I did yesterday that I've actually never done with my kids, I have 3 girls. My middle child came up to me. This was at about 5 o'clock last night. And typically, like tonight, I worked until about 6:30. Last night at 5 o'clock, she comes up to me and says, "Hey, Dad, I want to throw the football around with you." I was speechless, okay? I have 3 girls. I have no boys, so nobody ever wants to throw the football around with me. And we started playing catch. It was just me and her to start. And then the other 2 came, and then they joined us. And I'm like, I'm having so much fun. We laughed. We had just nothing else mattered. I didn't think, oh, I should answer this email or I should answer this call or this text. The only thing that mattered was the time I was spending with my kids in that moment. And, you know, I look back and it's like, man, if this all wouldn't be happening right now, would I have taken 45 minutes of my day to go throw the football around with my kids?
Right.
And it's a huge reflection of sometimes we really need to slow down. We need to look at what's around us. We need to really understand where we're putting our time and priorities.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of conversations around this these similar ideas over the last year, or over the last couple of days, a year or two, wow. And I mean, I like to think that, you know, in the small town that Catherine and I and our 2 girls live in, yes, everybody, that's the one similarity Jeremy and I have. We both have girls for kids.
Yep.
I like to think that we don't live a real fast-paced life here where we do. But it's funny, though, because now it looks like we were living a super fast life.
Oh,
right?
Yep.
It's, I think the whole world is now realizing just how insanely fast we were all moving before. At least I'm realizing that. And like I said, I don't think relative to a lot of people, we lived a real fast life prior to this. But now that we've been forced to slow down even more, man, you realize, much like you were just saying, holy man, this slowing down is really nice, actually. Now, that's not to, of course, put aside and ignore the real hardship that's taking place within a lot of communities, within a lot of families, within a lot of households. That's not to put that aside, but it is to acknowledge the reality that, maybe this is a little bit of a sobering reminder about, like you maybe just said, there's a few things that are really important in life that slide by pretty quickly when you're living in the fast lane.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious, Dave, what are some of the things, obviously you're not having face-to-face conversations or consultations, those type of things. So, obviously your schedule kind of opens up a little bit. But what are some of the things that you're doing right now in your business that is affecting your business right now?
You mean aside from fielding those, hey, we're postponing?
Exactly. Customer relations, yes.
Yeah, because I know, many people watching this right now are probably thinking that's what I'm spending most of my time doing. You know what? I have shifted some planning meetings that are coming up in the next couple of weeks that were to have been in person to online, which is something that comes quite naturally because I was already doing a lot of that before. Mm-hmm. So if anybody watching this has not yet transitioned to using Zoom as one big example, probably the most popular example, if you've not transitioned to using that for client meetings or sales consultations or whatever, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
So
Zoom
powerful.
is amazing.
It really, really is. And in case anybody's thinking that it might be outside of your abilities, it's not. It is free to use, provided your meeting length is no longer than 45 minutes. Yep. If you want meeting lengths of longer than that, I think it's like $15 a month or something like that, which I know many of us are kind of tightening the purse strings right now, but there it is. And honestly, Jeremy, and this will maybe come as no surprise, but I've also spent just a lot of time, with the CPDGA that I help lead, a lot of people are kind of looking to us to create spaces, be they digital like this, where everybody can just get together and chat and lean and dump their feelings and look for advice. So we spent a lot of time doing that up here as well, which I think has been really, really helpful. I know I received a message late yesterday afternoon after Derek, our president, hosted an afternoon call, and this individual sent me a message and said, this is exactly what associations need to be doing right now. This is why they exist. You brought us together. You gave us a space to make sure that we're not feeling alone, which is really, really important right now. Because I guarantee you a whole pile of people watching this right now are probably really feeling isolated in a way that's not good for them mentally. Yeah. So that's something that I've been putting a fair bit of energy into, and just, working with the team here, trying to figure out, okay, what are our next steps? What else can we do to support? So I'm in a little different situation maybe than most people because of that, but that's what I've been spending a lot of my mental power working on.
Sure. And some of the things that we've kind of been focusing on is the first thing, or some of the things that we've been affected on in where we're currently in our business is there was a lot of purchases that we wanted to make. And right now, some of the costs for some of these things are like, oh my gosh, we got to pull that trigger. But watching your spending, oh my gosh, that can be so hard. Especially when we have staff that we're still paying full time. We need to make sure that we can still write paychecks, because truthfully, that's our biggest asset. It's not the equipment. It's not the gear. It's the people who make this business run. It's right. Sarah, it's David, it's myself, it's the other team members that make this business work. And without them, again, if we lose them, we lose our business. Right. We can do without the new DJ controllers that we planned on purchasing this spring. Luckily we purchased 2 ahead of all this. We had 2 more that we were supposed to be getting, about last week. And again, we just kind of put a freeze on our accounts and said, let's talk financially through all this so we can last until August, which you and I had the conversation before we started the chat here.
Right.
So financials have been a really important thing for us to kind of keep in track and keep in mind.
Yep.
And again, I'm kind of looking at this as an opportunity. It's like, okay, do we really need to spend as much as we do? And there's a lot of foolish spending that we do in our company, but I'm very particular about my funds and what I do with them. So This just kind of tightens that up even a little bit more. So the things that we're really focusing on, again, since we have David full time and we're not going out and setting up our corporate events right now, what we have done is we talked about goal setting in the EOS with Glenn. We talked about the VTO. Yep. And if you're not familiar with those, reach out to David or reach out to myself. We can tell you more about that. But, we have things on our 3-year plan that we're crushing this week and last week. I mean, we're getting so much stuff done off of our goal setting because now I can't tell myself, well, we don't have the time to work on that project right now. And we're also setting ourselves up to help the other wedding professionals in our market. Like you had said, having the CPDJ or the thing that you guys do, your association.
CPDJ, you got it. Yeah.
We're working as a group here in the Sioux Falls market to assist each other and help each other out. We had a video chat, and there was a couple of us on there. There's about, I think, 7 or 8 people that were on the call, but it was just kind of piggybacking off of each other and helping each other.
Yeah.
If you're running into this situation, reach out to this person, or what do you do in this type of scenario? So giving people answers to questions they have is going to be extremely important because they might not know everything and you might not know everything. So you need everybody to play off of. And then
the last thing, real quick before you do your last thing. Can you give me an example? Like what was like one of the things that you were working on this week for your US goal, for your 3-year goal? Can you give me one example? Like what were you working on?
Yeah, our biggest thing that we're working on right now is we are working on, and you're going to see a lot of BJJ Shop Time videos coming out here very soon.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so we have been working on our internal troubleshooting and virtual training session or scenario. So for some reason, if somebody is going through, they're at a wedding and all this, or they're setting up and they don't have audio for some reason, they can actually scan a QR. There is a step-by-step written scenario, but they can actually scan a QR, and we basically in the video reenact any of the situations that could be the problem to help them troubleshoot. So if they can't sit there and read and understand it, they can actually watch me do a step-by-step. This is how you check to figure out why you don't have volume and why you don't have any music playing. So we have been going nonstop. I want to say we have probably, there's probably over 10 hours of video that we've recorded. And so if anybody ever wants to purchase the video training manual, it's been a lot of work, but again, it was one of those 3-year plans. David has been fantastic, putting all the content together and really cool. Breaking everything down. So yeah, wow, it's really coming together.
That's really, really neat.
Yeah. Tell me about some things that you're looking at doing in your business that you can be doing right now for the future of your business.
Well, I mean, I think we have a Canada-wide DJ call coming up next month with none other than Mr. Nick Spinelli, who crushed his presentation on marketing and branding on social media in Vegas back last month, February, pardon me. And I think that's one of the biggest areas where, Jeremy, you know this. I'm known for having a terrible social media presence for my business. And whenever I'm speaking with other DJs, I implore them, please, dear God, you've got to have a better presence than I do. You have to. Don't look at me as a model for that. But of course, the thing that I run into all the time from people is they say, look, I don't have time to keep up on social media like you're supposed to. Well, I don't know where that excuse lies today. Now, am I going to get on my social media? Let's not talk about that, everybody.
Next topic.
Yeah, I've also got another iron in the fire of the new project that I'm trying to work on, so I'm probably going to put more social media time there. I mean, that is probably the easiest thing everybody could be doing right now. I know Alan Berg, in the webinar that he put out the other day, he was saying, go ahead and write 2 months worth of blog posts. Just get it done. For me, that type of stuff is really labor intensive, time intensive, and I'm sure it is for many people out here as well. I know some people can just bang out a blog post like that. That's not me. So I think now is a great time for people to start writing a series of blog posts. And look, if you're wondering, Dave, look, I don't even have a blog on my website. How do I do that? That's easy to figure out. If that's the thing holding you back, shoot me a message and we'll figure it out together. You and I, we'll do a Zoom screen share tomorrow. Okay. But these types of things are going to keep you top of mind when the doors open again.
Yeah.
So that you can hit the ground running as opposed to, okay, the doors are open. Now what do I do? I mean,
Yep.
what do you mean now what do I do? You had 12 weeks to make a plan. So yeah, like if I see one more post on Facebook that starts with "I'm really bored right now," I'm going to lose my SHIT because my list is getting longer every day. Anyway, but social media posts, and blog posts, I think should really be a huge thing. And by the way, did you know this? I learned this from Nick Spinelli at his presentation in Vegas, that you can save draft posts on Instagram.
You can what?
You can save draft posts on Instagram, so you can get a post made ahead of time on Instagram and save it as a draft to publish later.
I know nothing about Instagram, so no, I did not know that.
That's right. Sarah does the social media on your side.
She does my social. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Too funny.
So what I want to encourage people, because basically you've set yourself up for success and something that you've wanted to accomplish and should have accomplished. You now have a goal that you're going after. And that's what I want to kind of recommend in this chat tonight is think of one thing that you've been wanting to do for months, a year, 3 years, and let this time be the time. Because again, you don't have, I got to work this weekend. No, you don't. You can spend time with family. You don't have to prep this entire week. So instead of the prep time, why don't you spend 2-3 hours a day, whatever it is, and work on that one thing that you want to accomplish.
Right.
My biggest thing is, and I can't get into extreme specifics because it's still a pretty private project that we're working on, but we've been working, I've had this idea in my head for the last 4 years, actually almost 5 years now. And I've always told myself, yep, I'm going to launch this. This is going to be great. We're going to get great traction. It's going to be great for, what we want to accomplish out of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always like, I don't have time to work on it right now. I have to focus on the DJ business and I have to focus on our corporate clients and all that. And we have kicked it in the butt so much the last couple days, and there's still so much more that we have to do, but man, I'm gaining ground. And it's exactly like the snowball effect when it comes to debt. You start chipping away at this. Next thing you know, you're snowballing and you're taking out the little projects here and there and creating that big project or the final outcome. One of the things that we're also working on or we're focusing on is we're working on partnerships that we've been wanting to create for numerous years. We're working on new partnerships. We're working on new video content. Our video guy is working on new ideas for us, and we're coming up with new things that we weren't doing before because, we don't have time to work on this right now. And then the last thing is just projects that we've been putting off to the side.
Right.
Like I was talking about, we have one big project that we've been wanting to do. I own, last time I checked, I think it was like 75 different URLs or websites.
What?
And I'm not saying that, so some of them are overlapping. So it's not like I have 75 different ideas.
Right.
I have about there's probably about 7 ideas that are like sitting in this back burner. And I need to just, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And one of the projects that I'm really excited about for a bunch of nonprofits in our market, we've been kicking it around for over a year now. And now I have the interface is done. The website's done. All I'm working on now is the donation sections of the website. And when that is 100% done, I will show it in one of our shows. And because I'm excited to share this project. I think it's going to be extremely popular for our market as well. I think it's going to really make a financial impact on a lot of nonprofits and organizations who need the community's help. So right now, it's just not the time.
Okay, got it. So I want to dig maybe deeper into something a little bit here before we wrap up. You're talking specifically about projects that don't directly have to do with DJing. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
What if this never goes away? What if this goes until next May or next April? What if this takes a year to actually progress? What are you going to do if that's the case? You can file for unemployment, but then your business is done. You can try to come up with alternative ideas that are outside of what you're currently doing to create extra cash flow and to give yourself work. So that's what we're doing.
Well, what I find really fascinating about this is, as you know, I'm working on a side project as well now, which, I mean, what was very much a side project up until maybe a month ago, and now that this has happened, I mean, yeah. I'm all into this new project, this Country of the Week thing, right? For obvious reasons. But what I like about what you're kind of getting at is the difference between being an entrepreneur and being a DJ.
Yeah.
And, I will admit, and I don't want anyone to check out of this conversation now, but, I, for years, have loved listening to Tim Ferriss. And I think in all the years that I've been listening to his podcast interviews, these incredible people and how he talks about, or how he creates conversations around the idea of, taking ideas or where the best ideas come from scratching your own itch on something, and then it becomes something that you can do. I think in keeping that type of content coming into my brain, as opposed to maybe some other types of content that are just used for checking out, I think it's really helped create a mindset for me that is hopefully going to allow me to move through this in maybe a little bit of a stronger way than some of my friends and colleagues in the industry.
Yeah.
Because I have, over the last couple of years, I think, adopted more of an entrepreneurial mindset than necessarily a performer mindset. And again, I don't want anybody checking out the conversation right here now, because I think it's really important, but every single person, I think, actually, no, I'm going to put this out there as a question. Does everyone have the ability to be an entrepreneur? I don't know what the answer to that is. I would like to say yes, but I think in some cases it's going to require a lot more tenacity and focus from some people than it will others. I think some people are more naturally inclined to it. And you're going, that's what you're talking about. And that's, I think, what, I'm feeling myself. I mean, I've always said to everybody who's asked, I've always known DJing will just be one chapter of my life. As much as I love it, as much as I get that high, just like everybody else does, from killing a dance floor where nothing you play goes wrong. I mean, it's an incredible feeling. But I've always wondered, what else might I do? And I'm really appreciating that mindset today more than ever. That's a great question. And I'm not going to say I have the 100% answer, but I can tell you that not everybody is made out to be an entrepreneur. Performers are performers. Mm-hmm. We're fortunate that our entrepreneurial skills allow us to be performers. That's our passion. So we had the energy, we had the excitement to make it happen. We worked hard for it. And we've made successful DJ companies and event companies. Okay. Not everybody is made out for that. We have certain people, or I know certain people that just don't have that little bit of drive that it takes to make something successful. You have to want it. You have to go after it.
I can give, and I've done it. I have won and I have failed at this. Okay. I have given people the opportunity and they haven't ran with it. They haven't taken advantage of the opportunities that I've given. And I hate to say this, but you know, there's so much potential in opportunity. What you decide to do with it is up to you. If you feel that you have the drive, you have the energy, you have the passion for it, that's great. But now you have to execute it, and you have to take it on. You can't just be excited about it. You have to do it. I'm leaving it at that today.
That's a great place to end off. If anybody has anything they want to add to this conversation, please drop it into the comments below. Would love to get your take on where this kind of unexpectedly went. But
yeah,
but I think in maybe a really valuable way for our current state and time, because we're in a moment, probably the moment, Jeremy, of our generation, that'll be most world changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if that's too grandiose sounding to say just yet, but yeah.
9/11 has nothing on what is currently going on. 9/11 changed a lot what happened in travel. This is changing a lot what's happening in our economy, our business, our home lives, everything. Yeah. And you know, it's a hard pill for a lot of people. And I can tell you what, I'm glad out of all the industries that are struggling, I'm glad I'm in this business and not the restaurant business, because they're not getting that back. People don't postpone their dinners. People are still going to have dinners 3 months from now. But we're lucky that our clients are at least postponing and we're still having that income. It's just in a different quarter now. So,
you know, I'm really glad you said that. And I think that's a good note to end off on, because I think a lot of the DJ world right now, well, let's even say more globally, I think the special events world, I think we all think we have it the worst right now.
Oh,
but you know what? I mean, you're right. I mean, a restaurant can go bankrupt in 30 days a lot quicker than a DJ company can.
Oh, yeah.
Because their overhead just, I mean, makes ours look like peanuts, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, everyone, on that happy note, this is Dave.
This is Jeremy. Thanks for watching us tonight, guys. Go wash your hands.
Go wash your hands, everybody. Take care, everyone.
See ya.